Welcome to Field 5, Cary, North Carolina. Final game of the afternoon session. It's the Group K opener, though, and it's a big one with two debutantes at TST 26. For the first time, the Ambush Stars, comprised of a lot of MASL stars outside of the St. Louis area. St. Louis Ambush and the Stars, big components of the soccer ecosystem. One of the founding cities of the game of the United States. And then the Amarillo Bombers are meeting here. Amarillo, Major League Indoor Soccer. That's where they shine. They're in black, in light blue. Ambush Stars, and we are underway. Neil Sika here to have some fun on this afternoon. Fast and transition, that's what Ambush is all about. And they come out right from the opening kickoff to bring it. Amarillo, so many of these guys played together on the MLIS team down in Amarillo, Texas. Rashad Amati will play back for Andy Garcia. He's one of the staples. Garcia, rear guard, glided along. Jose Lopez, Huevo, he's going to be one to watch. 24 in black for Amarillo. They're in Group K with Reggae Rovers, who have made some noise the last couple of years in the soccer tournament, along with Tactical Manager Flow Sharks. We're also playing concurrently in Group K. Just had a really good one in the opener on this Field 5 not long ago with the victory by Podba Funkball, coming back from 2 goals down in target score time to defeat RG10. That was in Group H. This is Group K. Long hit over the top, and the play into the corner. Ryan Kidu is out there for Ambush. Of course, some familiar names if you followed the TST competition with SK, the SK brothers, who have been playing in previous editions of the soccer tournament. William Chili SK for the Ambush at MASL 2025, their all-star game, but was a Newtown Pride winner in 2023, the very first $1 million prize winner. Monday night, the $3 million matches, the women, and now the mixed teams, the mixed groups, for the first time ever. Amarillo builds from the back. A lot of personnel that is familiar with the small-sided game, which has been on the rise throughout the last 2 competitions. Get yourself some MASL stars, some futsal, some 6v6 to shine now in this 7v7, unlike any other tournament you'll see in the world. Control out of the back from the keeper, Alfredo Chavez. Chavez now around for Ricardo Macias. An early possession through the first 3 minutes for Amarillo. We play 18-minute halves. There's no stoppage time, though. And all the excitement builds towards target score time. Already had a comeback on this field today. Holding play. Can you involve your striker and then have runners come off of it? Axel Chukante lost possession. Can make substitutions on the fly, and the Stars will do that. Tournament debuts for both teams. Ambush is led by Jeff Locker, and he's a good one, the MASL Coach of the Year. His son is on the team, Grant. He's a staple in the league with St. Louis, along with Milwaukee. And Seth Crab
This match features
Crab walking his way to an open look through the face of goal as he turned, the big number 9. Crab played at Shippensburg, smaller school in Pennsylvania, but an M2 champion, MASL 2, their second tier with the Harrisburg Heat.
Also, during target score time,
and it's by association. They're not all St. Louis Ambush players that are on this Ambush Stars roster, but by association, you know someone who might make a difference. bring him into the roster. St. Martin spears that off of Pedro Castaneda. Castaneda coming off a season where he had 6 goals in 11 games for Amarillo. He also saw time with the Chihuahua Savage. Castaneda, a 3-time MASL champion. 5 minutes old. Chamale. Gobble it back around. He's an all-rookie player in MASL. This number 3 in black on the ball with the Milwaukee Wave. That goes back to 2016. Chamale played for Sport League Canada as he passes it off to the keeper. Chamale was on that Sport League Canada team, eventually became Toronto Athletics. Sport League Canada played in the very first final in TST 2023 when they lost to Newtown Pride. And a lot of those players, while Toronto Athletic isn't around anymore, have been dispersed to other rosters. So this is Esque, Chile Esque. William, his brother also on the team, and John Andrew. That is pumped forward over the top. And Amarillo will come out looking to run. Raheem Rose, also part of that Canadian blend of stars on Sport League Canada from the very first year, and still going strong, Raheem Rose, as he rips it over the top. No signs of slowing down. The Sport League Canada team, comeback and target score time on the previous game. They had one of the great all-time comebacks as Toronto Athletic 2 seasons ago in 2024. They were down 4 goals in target score time. Came all the way back to win. So the early feeling out process, a lot of possession for Amarillo. FC Amarillo Bombers. Brought on to Steve Jasso, who's from Tucson, Arizona, the 25-year-old. Kike Cades, coming off an 11-goal season with the Bombers. Big number 91 striding up the near side. Play through the middle. Down by Ricardo Macias. And Ricardo is known as Zurdo on this roster. Peppering in some changes. Majority of time on the ball, though, for Amarillo has come basically right here on the back half. Can they involve the strikers? Can they get some hold-up play? That's what you need to do to bring the runners into the attack. Jasso drifts it out wide. Lopez. Such a confident player on the ball. Jasso, something promising here. Haro's lead off. And then a smash of a shot that's denied before the clearance comes right towards us. And the official Voigt ball here at TST on field 5. Amarillo's got it back. Patient way of going about it from the back. Fredo Chavez, the goalkeeper, always has options to build. But good discipline by the Ambush Stars. Both teams in their very first tournament here at TST. Midpoint of this first half. For all this work along the back end by Amarillo, they only have that one shot on goal. Phil Breno coming up with the nice save a few moments ago. Here's some transition. Salazar, and it's denied by Chavez. After the spill, that leads to the sprint out. And forward, Chocante couldn't get the passing right. Wanted Haro. Zurdo Hardo. Haro played with the Certified Lions, a TST participant last year. It's SK. Over for Crane of the St. Louis skyline that is blended into these blue kits for Ambush Stars representing their city. It's going to go on over and a foul is called.
Goal for a quick goal. Quick goal, man leads $1,
Poached up for Reyes, and he is nudged just outside the area. One of the best in the business in Major League Soccer is the referee here for this matchup, Rubio Vasquez of Hialeah, Florida. So he's in command and awards the free kick. No slide tackling or any of the heavy-duty contact to commit a foul here at the tournament. It can be offside. There are no throws. If you're familiarizing yourself with the rules for the first time. On that free kick, Breno repels, and then it's put in on the rebound. Miguel Reyes has been a monster goal scorer in his MLIS career. And Reyes, who had 24 goals and 13 assists over the course of 2 seasons and played at the University of Ozarks, has the opening goal in the 12th minute. Well, Breno did his best off the free kick, but then the coverage was not there to help him out. And Reyes knocks it home. So the Amarillo Bombers, with the run of play, they've had most of the ball, and oftentimes if you don't take advantage of it, at least in the 11v11 game, it can hurt you. There are quick replies often in a competition like this 7v7.
Here on field 5,
what can Ambush cook up?
Leads Ambush Stars.
Haven't seen a ton of it in the attack so far. And they wanted to use that speed out in transition. But right now it's been tough to come by. A foul here to give way to a free kick. Colin O'Keefe is running around with that glorious mane. He's no stranger to the MASL. That ball in is a good one. It's fisted away by Chavez. O'Keefe with a keep along to Marcel Berry. O'Keefe got pummeled. Rose running roughshod. Went up high, and the linebacker coming in. Off the volley, it's ripped by Amati. And springing into life in this game's got a little bit of pep after that opening goal. So a corner with Amati to take it. Miguel Amati. What a career in MASL 2. 107 goals in his time. Second division of indoor soccer, but he also played for the Ambush. Amati coming forward here, so he knows a lot of these guys in the St. Louis parts. Breno's down. Breno, the contingent, there's a nice little fraternity of William and Mary players, not only on this roster, but they've popped up all over the soccer tournament over the last few years. The SKs are essentially legacies there, mom and dad being athletes. Well, the Tribe, there's a heavy Tribe influenced at TST. 4 minutes till halftime. Amarillo getting that putback goal from Miguel Reyes. 18-minute halves, we count up. There's no stoppage time. Clock does stop for injuries. There's a plucker long for Haro, Zurdo Haro. A touch with the arm out in the open field by the Stars. Gives Amarillo the ball. They've plotted and picked their way with the possession, mostly from here and the rear guards. Chavez wants the near side for Jorge Leal. Driving run from Zurdo Haro. And then deflected back into the arms of Breno. Breno had time in the USL Championship, USL 1 with Charleston and forward Madison, the goalkeeper for Ambush. Gets the play going in the right direction for the Stars. Zurdo Haro clears it to safe harbor. And some more changes coming for each team. That's an important part, especially in the early games. Of course you want to win, but setting the substitution pattern and how you may see out to seeing out a game. Easily dealt with on that curled ball in and handled by Chavez. Control of it. Amarillo. Of course, Amarillo in Spanish is yellow. Not a lot of yellow in those kits, though. There's a little bit of light with that lead they have. On the goal by Reyes. Driving forward was Jasso. As it spill away, and Eske will look to recalibrate for Ambush. Good leave off by Crab, O'Keefe. I think Barry can get into the play. Will Crane on over. He's a captain. His collegiate days, both playing at South Carolina and Brown. Eske. Inside of 90 seconds remaining in the half. He went to the outside for his brother, John Andrew. Up high and off the ball. Eske, John Andrew Eske, goes down with some contact here. The arms were up from Jasso. And Rubio Vasquez is going to give a red to Jasso. Some reckless contact. Well, just seeing that in the final seconds where Jasso, right at the corner of the penalty area, got up high on Eske. And that is a huge change of the plot now. A red card to one of the playmakers for Amarillo, and Steve Jasso, who's been sent off. That's credit to Rubio Vasquez, too. He might not have seen that in the open field from where he was assessing the play from behind, but his ref in the technical area, Ryan Sagici, does a fine job of noticing that off-ball contact. So down a man. Of course, we go down players in target score time, but for the duration of regulation now, Amarillo, despite the 1-0 lead, is -1 in personnel. Free kick for Ambush. Low roller cleared by the defense. Nice play by Mitchell to guide it out to the near side. But now it's a plot twist. Ambush ready to settle into having some more possession. Final seconds here of the first half. And that drive is low where Chavez collects on a stinger hit. Juan Salazar. San Diego Soccer. The Sockers won the MASL title this past season. Salazar playing there. He played at Utica City. Well, the urgency needed here for this last foray up the field. Eske and Barry. Eske at midfield. Salazar, the lefty on his weaker right. As it cut away by Luevano. And there it's halftime, and the coaching adjustments will come into play here for Amarillo as they find themselves in the lead. Chad Webb is their head coach. But they are down a man, and in the final 90 seconds of the first half, Steve Jasso with reckless contact up high on John Andrew Eske and is sent off. The goal comes from Reyes in the 12th minute, and that's the difference. FC Amarillo, the Bombers, in their very first TST lead. Debutantes, the Ambush Stars at the break. And we'll pause and come back with more. Field 5, Cary, North Carolina, winding down the opening game of group stage play here in Group K. 1-0 FC Amarillo.
Target scores 4 here on field number 4 with your score. Quick goal 3, blind ballers 0. Target score 4.
Back in Cary, North Carolina, this is Field 5. Neil Sika with you. And the opener in Group K for Day 1 of TST 2026. See those first half statistics. FC Amarillo Bombers, 4 shots on goal, 2 for Ambush. They got a couple late in the half, and they are up a man after the red card coming to Steve Jasso. Playing up a man, but down a goal. Ambush in the blue. Amarillo, Major League Indoor Soccer team, bringing a lot of their players wearing black. And a foul, Rubio Vasquez. The red card came on Jasso at the tail end of the first half. Got that elbow up high. A little back and forth with John Andrew Eske. Larson Rogers. But you wonder, in talking with Jeff Locker, the head coach, they wanted to use speed to their advantage. Maybe hoping to use transition, but they've got some deft little moves here to the outside. Chavez knocks that away. I wonder if the possession game maybe take them out of the rhythm that they necessarily wanted. Of course, Amarillo is going to shrink the field now without a player. And we'll get to that point eventually, too, in target score time. Fascinating to see it play out. Here's a run in behind, and the second opportunity for the second goal. Breno comes up massive. Well, he denies the shot by Zerto Haro, who was in a way. Yeah, the best chance early on in this second half comes Amarillo's way, looking to build on the lead. Some hold-up play and now a leave-off. Chalamet. TK Canes. Canes wears 91 along the near side, plays it back over for Chavez. Zerto Haro grinding gears on the outside with Larson Rogers. Pardon, that's Brett St. Martin. St. Martin, first team All Big Ten in his collegiate days at Maryland back in 2021. Helping to defend that back end for Ambush Stars. Salazar wants to bring it onto that left. He had one of the shots on goal. Returns to O'Keefe. St. Martin says send it on back. And Breno has come up big time on a couple of stops, or else this might be 2 or 3-0 Amarillo. Barry wanted the hold-up play for Crab, but the pass out, Barry does a nice job to defend. Chased further along by Will Crane. No Jasso, so they'll leave the playmaking chores in the middle. Off that drop feed, it goes to Diaz. Miguel Diaz, hoping to pull the strings. A 3-time MASL champion, Diaz. TST last year, he played with Boca Dallas. Boca Dallas this year has Gilberto Costa, great Brazilian who's in the fold. Some big names have returned to TST. Kun Aguero. PK, whose Kings League team is here. PK is not playing. Landon Donovan will be in the mixed team action. U.S. soccer great, Landon Donovan. SK fronting with a little bit of press. 18-minute halves here at the soccer tournament. Chavez has got full command of that penalty area. Here's Diaz. Works out of a minefield around Barry. Amarillo wanted a call. John Andrew Esque guides it on back to Breno. Salazar. MASL veteran. Esque. Ryan Kidu, he's on the near side, out wide. Dispossession though. Diaz, and then Diaz fouled. So diligent defending so far, down a man. Amarillo Bombers. You've got 6 on the field, 5 field players and the keeper. The red card to Jasso. That was late in the first half. The goal in the 12th minute belonging to Miguel Reyes. Amarillo's number 6. There's a guided pass steered in the direction of Lopez. Lopez, a real standout. He was on La Bombonera. Bombonera has had several of their players trickle around now to other teams. Of course, Bombonera took the tournament by storm in 2024, winning the 2nd edition. O'Keefe. It's St. Martin. Locker, son of the coach, lobs it up. O'Keefe knocked it down. Crab hit the bar, and he will be crabbing about that. That was the window to tie it. +1 in personnel. Ambush nearly got there.
You know, a lot of people say that, though, just because they...
Little feint from Castaneda. They'll leak it away. They've got Rose. Chamellet and Rose. Canadian futsal standouts through the years. Rose on in for Castaneda. Winner of a lot of silverware at the MASL level. It will be a corner for Amarillo, who's taken what's been given in this second half, and with their possession, they've made it purposeful. Rose. Breno will glide on in to take it. It's Salazar. Comes in field. Rose protects it. Rogers watching that leave back for Eske's shot and knocked down by Chavez, who's been on the ready. Good positional awareness by Amarillo. Playing down a man in this game, Eske. He's the leader there from the back, St. Martin. Says, let's swap some things. Got to get your personnel right. Positional attacks. Rogers wanted the lead from Kidu. Kidu's touch wasn't clean. Chavez. It's a slow roller back, but up ahead of the fray. Zuro. Zerdo Haro waits for Rose to join the attack. Any moment's notice if they can get in behind the defense. Or Haro has done that a couple of times already now in the second half. Once off a long ball and then right at the start of this second half. Swept by Leal. Eske right off of Rose. Great little back heel to Kidu. Numbers here, and the save by Chavez. Denies Larson Rogers right on the front door. That was the glorious moment, and Rogers lifts his head to the sky. Not going to get a better opportunity than that. And a credit with the flick by Kareem Pare, who left that back, the Cote d'Ivoire native. He played at St. Louis University as recently as 2025 and had a 3-goal season. That was eyes in the back of his head to lead on that breakaway. Midpoint of the second half, Salazar stripes it into the 3-man wall of Amarillo. Crane. Pare out there, Crab, O'Keefe, Eske. The Eske brothers. John Andrew was jonesing to let that rip, but it'll sky away. They'll star that play, though, by Fredo Chavez, the keeper, to keep it 1-0. Right around the midpoint of this second half. Amarillo's been pretty organized for the most part. Playing down a man since the tail end of the first half. Scrapping and clawing along that far touch line. O'Keefe, Eske, they come away with it. Crab took a heavy touch to turn. Now Pare, who uses his pace, and he's been mighty effective. Play that set them on their way before the Chavez save, and that earns a foul. Pare, St. Louis University, not his only stop. He was also at LSU Shreveport and Marquette collegiately. Part of the Right to Dream Academy that originated out of Ghana. The driving ball by Crane. Fortuitous deflection goes into the path of the oncoming Locker. Call him G, Grant Locker. I think collegiately at Marquette. And a yawning net for the moment. Right to Dream Academy, the underprivileged, especially in the nation's across Western Africa to give them an opportunity that they may not, coming out of their towns and villages with tryouts and possibly to ascend to a better life through soccer. It's done wonders, and it's really flooded the collegiate game in the States with some excellent players who've gone on to pro level. There's a lead down the line for the shot taken by Rogers. Not on the mark there. Target score time would be 2 as it stands now. Amarillo making that goal stand up from Reyes. It's been tough to come by. The field tilt coming the ambush Stars way, about to say St. Louis, but it's hard not to when you look at those kits. Of course, the bones of how this club was formed in their tournament debut. It's the same for FC Amarillo. Rogers for St. Martin. Salazar. St. Martin. Patient game with the umbrella outside. Rogers. Barry. Here's St. Martin. Scuffed it. And the redirection was kind to Crab. Crab's hit the crossbar in this game on a putback. But nothing has been able to skip past Chavez in the Amarillo Bomber goal. What a leadoff here, and Breno has to come up big time on the quick trigger pull. That was left for Amati. Here's Salazar. Chavez is low and saves it again. He is a one-man wrecking crew right now and detonating the Bomber goalkeeper everything that Ambush throws at net right now. Changing up some personnel. Ambush. SK back out on there. Salazar slinks one for Crab. Rose is defending. Canes watching, defending out wide. And there is something well arrived from Will Crane. Going to need a crane to get it as it flies out. And dodging more bullets, the Amarillo Bombers have been down a man all this second half, hoping that this goal stands up to target score time. An Ambush very well in striking range. Reggae Rovers and their pedigree the last couple of years argue they're the favorites in Group K. Tactical manager Flow Sharks. Those two competing right now. Got 3 minutes here in the second half remaining. No stoppage time added. Zerdo Haro watching that slip right on by, and here comes Eske. Chile Eske. Given name William, longtime MASL standout. Watching it dispossessed. Only briefly, Lopez, who's not been going and flowing in the attack. Zerdo Haro kind of draped all over the back of Eske, and he thought there was a foul. I'm kind of with him there, but a lot of contact being allowed right now, and the lead on ahead for Amarillo. Cheeky moves, and the finish coming from Amati, who's been close on a couple of occasions. Murshad Amati was a bullet train in scoring goals at MASL 2. Has his first at TST, 2-0. And it's a big one in the 16th minute. Our FC Amarillo down a man. There was a lot of contact both ways, but in transition, Amarillo hits for a big insurance goal that could buoy them heading into target score time. Barry, Christian Briggs, now on for Ambush. Looking to recalibrate, look for any sort of uptick getting into the last 2 minutes and then target score time. Where Or should they not score here in regulation, they would need 3. Amarillo Bombers, they are compact in the middle. Barry. That cross and the flare for the dramatic comes from Crabb. It's been oh so close. Applaud the effort, but that will chew up some more precious seconds on the clock. Going into the breeze here at Field 5, FC Amarillo. Up against it, down a man. Against the wind, but up 2 goals with the wind at their sails now coming into the attack. Diaz has done a nice job to kind of run things through the middle since Jasso was sent off at the end of the first. And a minute remaining. Somewhat of the catbird seat, at least as far as regulation is concerned, for FC Amarillo. Castaneda gets the priorities in order, along with the likes of Diaz. Rashad Amadi putting on a footwork display for that second goal with about 4 minutes left. Here's the touch off for Diaz. Brought it on back and nearly missed. Diaz had that peg for the corner. He thought it was going there. Final seconds here for Ambush. The Stars. Kidu. Pare. The Ivorian. Seasoned collegiately in the States for Eske, who's up in the action. Eske looking for a sliver, and he hit a grounder right at Chavez. And that will take us to the end of 36 minutes. Well, Ambush, they're going to need one in target score time. They need 3 goals. The Stars trail Amarillo on each side of the half, getting goals despite playing down a man for the second 18. And we'll head to target score time after a quick respite. Recap it for you and get going. We're playing to 3 here on Field 5 of the Group K opener. It's the FC Amarillo Bombers 2, the Ambush Stars 0. We'll pause for a moment and return with target score time. Welcome back on Field 5 here in Cary, North Carolina. 2-0 FC Amarillo leading the Ambush Stars. Target score time, we're playing to 3. If you've watched this competition in any iteration, that hasn't changed. What has changed, though, you have 15 seconds out of your own half to advance it, and once you cross midfield, you can't hit a back pass, kind of taking away some of the stalling tactics. Now FC Amarillo down a man. So they have 6 on the field to the 7 of Ambush, and that's where things could get really interesting, because after every 3 minutes a goal is not scored, then we have, or at least don't get to target score time, we take a player off. Barry misjudged the timing of that header. He'll scatter it away for Ambush, who's in the blue, Amarillo in black. With goals on both sides of halftime. They just need one more. Steve Jasso, one of their driving forces in the midfield, was sent off with a red card late in the first half. Up for Lopez, who's been one to watch but had a quiet game so far. In the corner here, all it takes is one moment though. Zerto Haro, Lopez, Haro, he'll keep it. Wanted to lead Haro. Pedro Castaneda. One on back, Andy Garcia. Canes, Kike Canes holds for FC Amarillo on the outside. Up 2, need 1. They're down 1 in personnel on the field. 90 seconds played here in target score time. That'll slip on through, but back to the 15 seconds where you build up. Of course, rule makers hoping that ignites going for the win, not playing this strategy of sitting on the ball, which we've seen in past TSTs. Haven't seen any issues with it on Field 5 so far. After a restart, you can play going back if it comes from a ball that's out of play to kind of reset. Salazar, he'll tuck inside. Kidu, he'll control it. Salazar for Rogers, who's had some nice looks today but hasn't been able to convert. Will Crane on the outside. That's a clearance on back. If the opponent does play it back into the original possessor's team's half, just like normal, it's a live ball. But Salazar essentially can't play this back to his keeper if he wanted. Give you an example of how that new decorum works. Kidu will put it off Chavez, and the redirection is kind. Was it Salazar? Was it Rogers? Either way, or it might have been off an Amarillo player. It's 2-1. And Rubio Vasquez, the referee, calls for a swap of each team to bring a player off. Credit Ryan Kidu, who just slammed that on in, and it's one that Chavez makes the initial stop on, but the deflection thickens the matter here for FC Amarillo. They're up a goal, but Ambush on the board. Lopez is going to come out. 6 on 5 with the full complement of players right now in favor of Ambush. This is where, when the space widens on this green rectangle, it could favor the team that has one more. You're running around a lot more if you're Amarillo. They had some dogged defending in that second half. Breno brings it to the outside for O'Keefe. Zerto Haro. Crab. There's heavy contact. Crab went in kind of with his studs up. You can't have a slide tackle. That's part of the rules in TST. First games under the moniker for these clubs, not necessarily the first for much of the rosters. They know the drill. They're familiar with the property. The sloppy touch goes to Crab for Ambush. Christian Briggs. Keeps it afloat. Some wholesale changes on the fly for the Stars. Salazar. And they keep him on the right. The lefty would love to go on that inverted attack. Just hasn't been much through the middle, though, that Amarillo has surrendered. Salazar. SK, O'Keefe, got Crane. SK steering things from the back. Careful with their movement and how they defend Amarillo. There's a swing over where O'Keefe is not going to win it against Haro. Oh, what a crafty move to bust on through Salazar, who brings him down with a yellow. Zerto Haro is a fun player to watch. He split the defense there, coming over midfield. Salazar is booked. Got the stoppage of the clock here. Well, Rubio Vasquez wants a fresh Voigt official TST ball. Ball girl obliges and back underway. About 30 seconds until we pull off the next round of players. Lopez. Can he bring the magic here late on? That's hit first time. Sebastian Lopez, former Canadian futsal standout. He was on Toronto Athletic in 2024, the second year of the competition. There's several of those players. Shimade and Rose. There's Salazar. Drives it deeper into that channel to earn a corner. Past the allotted 3. The next moment, each team will go down a player. Down a goal, ambush. They've scored here in target score time. SK, Crab. There's a clearance and a clean out, but Breno is going to see that slip away and surrendering possession, Amarillo, and that's the hard part. When you don't have the numbers, it's hard to get on the ball and then sustain anything for long term. It's almost like you're wishing for something wobbly at the back or a turnover. Ambush has things in their favor right now, despite being down a goal. Five v 4. In favor of Ambush. Up the field comes SK. O'Keefe. Saw a 2-goal comeback in the previous game by Podpa Funkball. SK hoping to do the same. Leaves it off for Crab on a tight angle and razors it through the face. Crab keeps knocking on the door. But now Chad Webb will make some changes to how they go about this. Amarillo is going to pull Chavez, and then they'll bring on Diaz, who's shown good control, and he can be the roving keeper. Rose is out there. Canes wanted a sprint game against Briggs. Briggs will play it up to O'Keefe. Juan Salazar is also the other member out there for FC Amarillo. Things are tense. One mistake can cost you it all here in this opener in Group K. FC Amarillo needs 1. Ambush needs 2. Diaz for Salazar. Pardon, that's Castaneda. There's 17 in black. Castaneda, Rose, Canes, and Diaz. Kike Canes. Kidu. Grant Locker's out there. Briggs and Barry are defending right now. Kidu forced the play that led to the goal, and he won it against Rose. Ambush want a card out of there after breaking up the attack. Rubio Vasquez having interactions with the fans. It's like, settle down now. That's great. Salazar. SK. Picking and prodding, looking for their moment. The Stars. Run on Brian Banahan here. Former South Carolina standout and playing with Lexington. He's the target guy, the big guy in the middle right now. Barry. Over for Salazar. Looking for a crevice. Salazar, it's ski-balled off. Barry put it back to SK. Another player coming off, it's beckoning. Salazar got it on his stronger left. Left it back for SK. SK running out of room. Defended well by Garcia. And then broken away by Canes. Kike Canes with Breno coming out. Salazar is back. Canes looking for support. And he'll send it over. Garcia smashed, denied by Breno, who saves it again. He saves the Stars from an Amarillo ambush. Play continuing with Lopez. Chavez was back out there for the time being. Well, that was the moment Amarillo was waiting for. Down a player here in target score time, but they couldn't finish the job. Almost like too many men on the ice. Ambush was calling that substitution had come early with Diaz replacing Chavez. Canes is off. Salazar and Ambush trying to hit them in the rush. Instead it's Rose to clean it on out. O'Keefe. Well, the theater increasing in excitement right now. There's Salazar, 5v4. We've had a long time. They need to get to the point where they bring a player off, and Ricardo Salazar is going to know that's the time for it. Almost went a good 2 extended minutes there. Well, Banahan comes off, so does O'Keefe. Andy Garcia is inches away. Playing to 3. Salazar logged a lot of sweat equity in this game. Salazar. SK, the captain, over for Salazar. SK, Salazar, along on the outside. They've got Breno out there. It's a 4v3 situation. This is where you're just hoping that you don't get too gassed. If you're Amarillo, they've been playing down a man since the end of the first half. And now the numerical game, the cat and mouse action that comes in target score time, having to defend. Chavez, Scott Garcia. There's a save by Chavez on the shot by Salazar. Taking his luck. And that pass through the middle. Hitting Castaneda in stride. Castaneda around the keeper. Castaneda wanted to creep it forward. It's cleared off the line. Game-saving play by Grant Locker. Here comes some fresh legs, as fresh as they're going to get for Amarillo. The bib is on with possession, hoping to keep it. Sebastian Lopez, it's sloppy, and O'Keefe and Kidu. It's O'Keefe who ties the game at 2 off the giveaway. It's where you have to be so judicial on the ball. If you think you're going to have the possession in the attacking half, you better not lose it along that halfway line, and Lopez coughed it up. O'Keefe has tied the game, and now next goal wins. So possibly for the second straight matchup here on Field 5, we could have a 2-goal comeback in target score time. Just because you build insurance doesn't mean that you're at the finish line here at TST. And the leaders in each of the last 2 games, RG10 and now FC Amarillo, the Bombers are finding out the hard way, but they've made it hard on themselves with the yellow card. Rose lost it. Kidu clips it away, heading toward net, and a sprint to the finish. And that is last off of Diaz, who went down. Ambush players are saying that might have caught a hand. Clearance goes out for a corner for the Stars. Chavez comes back on. Boy, that was a really nervy moment for Amarillo. Locker, Salazar, Esque. And this is a ball, again, away from the rule in the flow of play. You can play it to the back half there off the restart like Salazar did, but now they can't. Everything's got to stay in this attacking half. And sitting on what could be the game winner. Esque, Salazar, and Locker. Esque! Chile has the ambush heating up from 2 goals down to a 3-2 win. The Stars shine in their first TST game. It is the captain, Billy Chile, who takes home the scarf, and the celebrations for the Stars, who sweated out despite being up a man for the majority of this game. They come back to snatch it 3-2. Stars faithful shining out here, and they celebrate a Group K opening victory. Through the years, it's almost so imperative, just like any group play competition, to get off to that start, not put yourself behind. They dug a hole, they climbed out of it. 2 2-goal comebacks in a row on this Field 5 to close out the morning, early afternoon session at TST 26. And great stuff in store tonight. You can follow all along all the games on YouTube, the Soccer Tournament YouTube page. A victory here, and William Esque, 2025 MASL All-Star with Ambush. The St. Louis Ambush wins it for the Ambush Stars here in their first game over the FC Amarillo Bombers, 3-2. Well, later tonight, these two teams will continue on their Group K journey. Ambush will play the tactical manager Flow Sharks on Field 7 at 10:15 p.m. Part of the nightcap, and then the Reggae Rovers will face the Amarillo Bombers also at 10:15. If you're watching in Cary and are attending the night session, that's on Field 4. I'm Neil Sika. We thank you for watching. Some doozies over the last 2 here on Field 5. And the Group K opener goes to the Ambush Stars, 3-2 over the FC Amarillo Bombers. Look forward to the evening session from Cary, North Carolina. So long for now.